Welcome to a scary tale from down under. A tale of ghosts and hair-raising thunder in a haunted and frightening Tasmanian estate. A castle with goblins and ghouls at the gate. A visitor named Granny and her tomcat Sylvester, and a birdie named Tweety, who Sylvester will pester. And the grump of the house, the Tasmanian Devil, whose appetite's ferocious, just like a steam shovel. When you hear, you soon will have learned it's time for the story's page to be turned.
Scary tales from down under will seem so real, they'll give you chills. Is this a dream? You'll stop to wonder. Scary tales from down under will even creep into your sleep and make you scream as loud as thunder. TAZ will terrorize tonight. TAZ will bring your fears to life. TAZ will take you to new heights with scary tales from down under. Scary tales from down under. Scary tales. Scary tales from down under. Scary tales from down under. Scary tales from down under.
'Twas a happy day for Granny like no other's ever been. She had gone on the Big Wheel of Wonder show and won the grand prize spin. Hardly the way that you'd expect a scary tale to begin. So Granny, Sylvester, and Tweety set off on a first-class trip, an all-expense-paid vacation on a big white luxury ship to the sunny shores of Tasmania, the Tasmanian Devil's domania. Granny told Tweety that she'd most like to travel the outback on a motorbike. So with her pets in a sidecar, they rode through the night, while Sylvester wrestled with his appetite.
Buckle up, hold on, and tally-ho! To the Wombat Hotel, to the Wombat we go!
But Sylvester's stomach had started to growl.
A canary snack would be perfect right now.
But along the dark road they ran over a rock. Their front tire went pop-a-da-thwack-a-da-thuck. When they checked, they found it as flat as a sock.
Kangaroo Castle is just a short walk.
Easy for you,
said Sylvester in shock.
I'll fly ahead,
Tweety said.
When you get there, just knock.
At the door they were greeted by the miserable Myron and his guard devil TAZ, whom he kept his good eye on. To make sure his guests had a hideous day,
we'll fix your tire, then get on your way.
He grinned as he said it from beginning to end, then he disappeared, never to be seen again. Oh, now this was the night of red ring round the moon, when the castle from rooftop to roadway is strewn with ghosts and goblins at their monthly meeting, a scare-a-thon where they all were competing. And none of the guests, nor TAZ, nor Myron, knew the ghosts were there. The trip was so tiring. But sooner or later in the course of the night, everyone was in for an award-winning fright.
It's the night of the ghastly crew, the living dead, the frightening moon, the Kangaroo Castle. The Kangaroo Castle. We're gonna do everything we want, and most of all, we're just hold on. The Kangaroo Castle. The Kangaroo Castle. It's a hopping and a bopping place that'll take
As her cheek kissed the pillow, Granny started to snore. And at that point, she couldn't hear anything more. But Sylvester awoke when the floorboards creaked, so he got himself up to take a quick peek. And maybe a Tweety bird snack on the way. Taz thought the same thing, and they both met halfway in the hallway next to the umbrella stand, where there stood a ghost with his head in his hand. Then the ghostly chairman, a spirit named Boofus, whooshed into the hall from the top of the roofus.
I'd have taken the stairs, but there's too much to do this. And what fun we're having at the Hotel Kangaroo.
All the fur on Sylvester stood up at attention as his eyeballs took in the spirit's convention, and even the normally frightening Taz only gulped at the terror that had come to pass. Ooh, Boofus bugged out his eyeballs and rattled his chains. He made heavy things float and brought indoor the rains. Then he swung upside down from a brass chandelier, shouting so loudly that Martians could hear.
Is this all much too shocking? Is that noise your knees knocking?
Taz whirled down the hallway in a terrible fright. Sylvester ducked in the library and slammed the door tight. Poltergeist slid through cracks, and under the door, gliding and galloping ghosties galore. Sylvester began to flip through the books.
There must be something for the disposal of spooks.
Soon the guests were few and the ghosts were many, and the only person who missed it was Granny. Taz spun so fast that he disappeared. He thought that the goblins would miss him. But when he slowed down to see if they'd gone, he found one had been spinning with him. Taz roared, which is his word for uh-oh, which is what people say when they're really shook up-o. Tweety took one look and said,
"Fancy that! We've got not one, but two kinds of Tweety Taz."
Sylvester crept out from the haunted library to see what had become of his favorite canary.
Losing one battle doesn't mean that I'm beaten. I'll be 1,000 times better once I've eaten.
In the midst of it all, Granny snored away, while Taz, in his own individual way, tried to wake her with shrieking and a chorus of belches. Maybe she'll scare ghosts. Looks like nobody else's.
Gather round,
Boofus cooed.
my collection of chilies. Let's give them the goosebumps, the creeps, and the willies. Old Granny here won't believe her eyes. And let's give Taz here the Boo Bell prize.
Now there's just one Tweety, but the ghosts were many. But he warned.
No ghosts better hurt my Granny.
The ghouls, excited at what Boofus said, now swarmed all the more around Granny's bed.
"Oh, Mr. Ghosts,"
Tweety said sweetly at the door.
"if you think you're as scary as lightning, I think you'd better think again, 'cause your powers don't seem very frightening."
Now that stopped Boofus dead in his tracks. No ghost likes to be told he's not scary.
Forget the old lady,
He howled to his friends.
and let's go get the canary.
The ghost chased Tweety and Taz to the laundry room, which was easy since they fly right through plaster. But no matter how quickly they swigged and they swerved, Speedy Tweety was smarter and faster. He led the ghosts to the laundry room, and as they all flew in, he set the machine for a long, hot wash, a nice cold rinse, and a spin. They were dry, pressed, and stacked by the crack of dawn. Once you wash a ghost, all its powers are gone. Didn't you know that? The sun began rising, and Granny woke up. She found Sylvester nervously sleeping. She stretched and opened the door to the hall and said,
My, this place needs a sweeping.
Just then came the whish of a broom as Taz swept the hallway and Sylvester cleaned rooms as part of the deal they'd made with Tweety if he chased off the menacing spirits completely. Later, Granny was set to be on her way to the Wombat Hotel, this time without fail. So she loaded her bag and her birdie and cat, and with Taz as a guide rode the Outback Trail. At the Wombat, at last, Granny was so pooped that she soon was counting sheep. And Tweety had put a lock on his cage in case Sylvester licked his chops in his sleep. You could hear a pin drop or a mouse clear its throat or the tickety-tick of a clock. Then Sylvester, smart cat, went to look for a pin to pick Tweety's cage door lock. When he saw white eyes in the darkened room and another pair and another, 'twas as if every ghost in the hemisphere had shown up with a sister and brother. And a crackling laugh cut through the dark. Eerie music began to play then. Sylvester near fainted when he heard a voice say,
Guess what, kitty? Party time again.
He bumped into Taz, who heard it too. Out the window they ran for the broad highway. Tweety said,
I do it with mirrors, wax paper, and a comb. I lose more putty tats and putty devils that way.